G'day folks, here's a quick summary from the end of my first training scenario. So I've gone through at at the end of the 21st turn, you make a D10 roll check, and on a 1 or a 2, the scenario ends. And of course, I drew a 2. So the scenario ends at the earliest possible time, which is unlucky because I have not sunk enough ships to win this scenario. My total VPs look... Okay, let me tell you what happened. My very first attack, sunk a 6,000 ton merchant ship worth 3 VPs. So I'm up to 3 on the VP track. Then I had a series of misses, and then I damaged, I think with an aft torpedo, a 9,000 ton cargo ship, as you can see here, worth 4 VP, but because it's only damage, you get half of that. That's why I just moved up to 5. So I'm on 5 VP at the end of the scenario. I keep these as little reminders. Unfortunately, compare my total to the victory below. It's less than the minimum. Total VP's 5. It's not even that. I'm not even ready for the real thing. At 12, my training is complete. At 16, I'm shaping up to be the next Otto Kretschmer. So, look, it started off really well. That first sinking was like, wow, it's so easy to sink these ships. Thereafter, all right, so what happened is I navigated around through here and I tried to come straight down to the center of the convoy, right? Because these are the level 3 ships here. You can see these are the big ones, 12,000 ton, large, 4 VP, etc. And I kind of hovered around here and I was shooting at these two in the middle, right? So these are level 2, these are level 3. So I was trying to hit these 2 ships in the middle. And oh my goodness, okay. It's really interesting with the running out of torpedoes. So you can see down here on my ship, right? I've got no torpedoes left. Well, I've got 3 in the tubes. So I've got 3 more shots possible if the patrol would continue. I'd have 3 more torpedoes to shoot, but I've been suffering with... Well, look, my hits have been pretty good. I've been trying to get hitting these ships at a good angle, like on the side. That's kind of what I'm hovering here. I'm usually in this vicinity here with, a +1 or a +0 modifier. I'm mindful not to attack from stern or aft on these enemy ships, so getting good modifiers for that. I'm getting good TDC results on these cards. Getting good hit-to-hit numbers, like 6s and 5s. These aren't all from that are hit, but getting 6s and 5s. A lot of them are in that range, so it's relatively easy to hit these slow convoys in good weather. My modifiers have generally been pretty good. So at night time, I did have 1 -1. But most of them have been either +1, +2, a couple of +0s. The problem is these dud torpedoes. So when the torpedo goes to explode, the electric torpedoes dud, things like that. A lot of duds, basically. So I'm hitting a lot of the time, but I'm getting a lot of... Where did I get? Even some of my G7A. I had a G7A dud as well, which is relatively rare. You look at all these cards. That's the card where I drew a dud G7A torpedo. So that was really unfortunate. And then, I drew... When I hit that large ship, it was only damaged. There was another result for a large damage there as well. So I think a mix of bad luck. That if I would have hit with that G7A, I would have drawn another card to hit. I don't know what I was targeting at the time, but that could have potentially at least damaged or sunk another large ship, which might have needed me another +2. A bit of bad luck with the scenario ending before I can get these last 3 torpedoes off. But yeah, look, really interesting. It's really what's quite fascinating is your actually navigation and your setting up. So you are trying to put your U-boat in a position and orientation. It's pretty easy with the Type 7s. They're very maneuverable. You know, they can almost pivot on the spot. So it's pretty easy to line yourself up. But keep in mind that when the convoy moves, you know, they're moving that way. And, you know, once you're in this position, I was kind of moving to keep up with them kind of thing, which is fairly easy to do. Just hitting at these kind of 45-degree angles on these large ships. Earlier, I was sort of like this and hitting them on an angle, hitting them on the side, and then I've kind of like trying to keep up with those larger ships in the center of the convoy. What else? Look, reloads. It's really interesting. So you're aligning your ship. You're firing your 4 torpedoes. You've only got 1 aft, which I'm trying to maximize the use of that. You've got to wait for these to reload. A couple of times I was firing 2 torpedoes at a single target, and you know, I had a lot of duds electric. I don't know if if these are just dud torpedoes, but I had a lot of duds for these. They just failed to explode. And you know, what else happened? You know, on the it's a mix of missing completely, or a dud torpedo. I don't think I think everything that was not a dud. Look, these are the 2. Like, I don't think I had anything other than a sunk result and a damage result. They're the only 2 that actually weren't duds. I never had a superficial damage result. So basically, where would it be? It'd be here. Okay, so I had 1 sunk result, 1 damage result. You can get a superficial result, but none of these. Oh, there you go, superficial. So if you get that dash result, it's superficial damage. I never had that occur. So basically 2 torpedoes actually explode. 1 caused damage, 1 caused a sinking. And that's what you can see here, a sunk ship and a damaged ship. Now that should be flipped over. Right, that's where the ship was sunk, and then you flip it over just to remind yourself not to place another ship there. So that, as I said, that is the training scenario. Very, very, pretty easy to grasp. You read through the rules here. You follow the very clear sequence of play chart, which is kind of, I mean, this is the sequence of play. So you're following this. There is a reminder here of what not to do. You pick up the what not to do pretty quickly. So you skip the ASW phase. You don't do convoy spotting. You don't do, it's not a daytime anyway. You don't have escorts, so you skip that. Fairly intuitive, and most of the information you need is here. What did I have to check the rulebook for? I think there were 1 or 2 brief occasions. What did I check the rulebook for? Oh, angles. So a few things where I wasn't sure about. Now, if I'm here and I draw this card, now am I technically at this angle with a -3 or this angle with a -1? I wasn't entirely sure about that. Still not entirely sure, right? So if I'm firing this torpedo hits at a 45-degree angle, and this is the card that I draw, is that 45-degree angle from aft -3 modifier or -1? All right, now I treated it as a -1. I figured this is quite an advantageous position. So I treated it as a -1, and I was thinking that everything behind would be kind of everything less than 45. So if I was shooting the torpedo from there, it'd be less than 45. So I've treated all of these as less than 45 degrees, and these as 45 to less than horizontal, basically. But not entirely sure about that. So that was the only rules ambiguity that I encountered. I never dived. I never submerged. No, there's no escorts. So there's no real need to take evasive actions here. The scenario recommends you do. Maybe if I was a bit more successful with my hunting and sinking of the ships, I might have experimented. But I was getting really desperate to fire these torpedoes and quickly reload. There's nothing you can do to speed up the reload process. I was just panicking. I was like, I need a torpedo, and they're reloading. Hurry up, guys! I was just yelling at my crew to hurry up. So yeah, this scenario, there's no flooding, no fire, no gas, nothing really to worry about. You've just got free reign. It's going to be quite different when these enemy escorts start appearing and causing me trouble. All right, folks, so that's it. End that training scenario with a bit of a defeat. 5 VPs, 6,000 tons sunk, 9,000 tons damaged, but we escape with our lives, and 3 torpedoes ready to fight another day. Thanks all for watching, and take care.